everybody. This episode of The Ride to the Rink is brought to you by our title sponsor, NHL Sense Arena. And a lot of you know what that is. It's a virtual reality training game that brings the rink into your home and allows you to take off-ice training literally to a new reality. Now, look, you guys know this if you listen to this show. We know you're working on your physical skill sets, your toe drags, your shots, your passing, your skating. This allows you to work on your mental skill sets, your hockey IQ, which we say to you all the time is one of the most underdeveloped aspects of youth hockey players. NHL Sense Arena, with their 100-plus drills, their training plans from top coaches, all USA Hockey approved for players and goalies, is going to give you that edge that you need off the ice that you can train so you can bring it to the ice. Again, as coaches, we don't always have the time to work on some of these drills that NHL Sense Arena has made available in our team practices. And unless you have a private instructor, this is a great alternative for you to do that. So listen, you're going to have to go to your parents. We're probably listening to this with you, but we're giving $50 off an annual plan when you use our code HOCKEYNEVERSTOPS at checkout. And again, you're going to need their permission to do this, and we want you to ask them. You can tell them to listen to this if they're not already. Go to hockey.sensearena.com and use the code HOCKEYNEVERSTOPS. You and your family can save $50 off on an annual plan for NHL Sense Arena. And again, we know that instruction can be expensive. Ice time is expensive. When you do this for less than $30 a month, you're going to get a whole new way to practice and earn that time in your house from you and your families so you can enjoy the game. So this is Lee. We're diving into the Ride to the Rink right now. Enjoy this episode, and remember to check out Sense Arena and use Hockey Never Stops at checkout for your $50 off. Take care. Hello, hockey skaters and goalies around the world, and welcome to another edition of The Ride to the Rink. It's Lee Elias here. I was thinking a lot about what do I want to talk about on this week's episode, and I'm looking at the date. We're recording this in mid-January, and I realize this is kind of the part of the season where you're probably entering the final stretch, whether your team has playoffs or a postseason. You're getting to that point of the season. You're past the holidays. You might be a little burnt out. You might be a little exhausted, or hey, you might be really excited. You might be really looking forward to the final part of the season. I just think it's really important that no matter where you are on that chart for the final stretch of the season, you should know you're doing great. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how do you know if I'm doing great? You're some guy behind a screen or on an audio file right now that I'm listening to on my phone or my computer. You're doing great because you're still playing hockey. And I'll tell you, whether you're having a great season, a mediocre season, or maybe you're having a bad season, you're not loving every aspect of it right now. You're still participating in the season. You're still showing up to practice. You're still showing up to games. You are still part of the team. And above all, you made the commitment and you're sticking to it. That's how I know that you're doing great. Now, I also want to let you know that it's completely normal at this part of the season to kind of feel things, right? Again, I said it before, exhaustion, excitement. It's also a big part of the season, a big time of year. You want to refocus yourself and remind yourself of a few really important things. Number one being, this is a game and you love this game. You can never lose touch on understanding that your passion for the sport of hockey transcends any team, any game, any shift, any season in your life, right? So just always be rooted and remember you love this game and be thankful that you get to play this game. And the older you get, I promise you, the more that will come into the picture. The next thing is to just maybe do a mental audit, sit down. What I mean by audit is just sit down and review things you've learned this season, whether they're good or bad. I always took the time, and I encourage you to do the same, to sit down and maybe write out, hey, here's 5 or 10 of the lessons I've learned this year, whether it was taught to me by coach, whether it was failure that I learned from, whether it was how I interacted with other players, other teammates that I liked or didn't like. Here's the skill sets I've grown on. Here's the skill sets I haven't grown on that I want to grow on. You want to sit down, look at your game, look at your season, and really just take a moment to write down. You can do this right on your phone. The things that you have improved on, want to improve on, things you liked and didn't like. I think it's really important to get in touch with those things because in the game of hockey, the game itself is go, 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 but the hockey life is go, go, go. If you're listening to this with your parents, they're probably nodding right now because we're going from rink to rink to rink to rink with you. You're going from practice to team, potentially going all over the place. It's a very fast-paced life on and off the ice. And I think it's so important as hockey players that you take a moment just 5 minutes, sit there, reflect, understand where you're going. Remember that you love this game. If you wrote goals out before the season, where are you on that? Have you achieved them? Is it time to look ahead to get new goals? Is it not achieved, right? Is there more you can do? And then as you head down the road towards the postseason or the end of the season, mentally structuring how you want to present yourself at that time. At the end of the season, it was always hard for me, right? When the season ended, I loved playing so much that, and at that time I didn't play year round all the time, right? There's always a little bit of letdown at the end of the season. You lose your teammates, you lose the team you were on, you shift it, maybe spring hockey, maybe summer hockey, maybe another sport, which I always recommend. But you got to prepare yourself for that. The more you prepare, the more mentally ready you are for things that happen in the game, all of them. Preseason, the season, late season, postseason, no postseason, changing sports, changing the end of school. The more you can prepare for that now, the more you'll be prepared for it later on in life. And your ability to deal with that adversity is a massive skill set. It is a massive skill set you're going to need if you really want to succeed at moving forward, not just in hockey, but in life. So that's today's Ride to the Rink. I want to remind you, you're doing great. I'm telling you that you're doing great. I want you to know that I believe in you. You should believe in you as well. All right? And take that all the way to the end of the season. All right? This is Lee with the Ride to the Rink. We'll see you next time. Skate on.